Hi, today we are going to discuss about the business analysis technique called Moscow, because this is a prioritization technique which mostly used in prioritizing the requirements when you want to develop an application. This is one of the prioritization technique. Of course, there are different techniques. Being a business analyst, we use something like PESTEL technique will be used to understand the external factors, impact of the external factors, wherein most is a technique which is used to identify the internal factors. At the same time, to do self-assessment and all, we do SWOT analysis. Apart from that, there is a technique called CATY, which will be used to identify the impact of the changes happens in any of the business process. Apart from all this, there is one technique called Moscow technique, which is used to prioritize the requirements, especially whenever we have gathered the requirements from the customer. We should be able in a position to understand what kind of requirements do we need to develop based on the priority. So this is how generally this prioritization will be divided into 4 different parts. So one is M stands for must have, should have, could have, and will not have. So must have is a kind of prioritization technique which is used where whichever the requirements are necessary for us to complete the project successfully. Whereas when you talk about should have, this is a kind of requirements which are important for the project. But usually to complete the project, these are required, but which is not necessary for us to involve these in. At the same time, could have is a kind of technique which normally we use. The third one, which is called could have, which is used to have this as an additional advantage, because if these requirements are added to the existing application, it will provide a value addition to the project. That's what we can call it as could have, but which is not necessary. But you have these requirements advanced so that it will have more impact on the project. That's what we can see. Last but not least, will not have means these requirements are not taken into an account at this level, because these requirements could be useful to you in future requirements. Whenever we are developing the solution at this point in time, these requirements may not be useful to us. But these requirements may be useful to us in order to enhance the requirements or enhancing the application in the future needs. That's what generally we call it as will not have. So this is a prioritization technique mostly used in the application development in the field of IT. Either you follow the traditional model, or else sometimes whenever you are working on agile environment, depends on the priority and as well as the importance of the end user as well as the client. This technique will be used to understand the requirements, how it is important, and what are the requirements are important. So based on that, implementation will be taken accordingly. So this is all about the prioritization technique called Moscow. If you have any queries as well as the needs of the training, all that stuff in regarding to the business analysis, please reach out to the contact details, which will be posted in below to this video. Thank you. Bye.